How do you decide what is the most important priority for your family and where your time, money, and effort go? Stay tuned to figure out how to make that decision. If you're looking for a way to streamline your decision-making process and release yourself from the stress of too many priorities, giving yourself a cohesive and healthy unit, then this video is for you. Today, we're going to unpack the steps of designing a family mission statement. But first, let me welcome you to Keeping Your Heart. My name is Renee, and I'm so glad that you're here. If this is your first time, we want to welcome you and invite you to subscribe by clicking that little button and that little bell, ding, that lets you know when a new video has arrived. Hey, and if you've been here before and you haven't subscribed, now is the perfect time. So what is Keeping Your Heart? We're all about those practices that help you to stay focused and engaged with your heart as you walk alongside others in compassionate mindset. So one of those things is being organized. So when we want to make decisions, something that can help us is walking through these steps of the family mission statement. For any family, there are lots of priorities for the members involved, activities that pull us one way or the other, or focuses. So how do you decide what it is that you can do? By determining the mission and focus of your family, then you have the lens through which all your decisions can be made. Where does your time go? Where does your effort go? And your energy and your money? An example of this would be if a family discovered that there as a collective that creative expression was the focus and purpose of their family, then they would decide that art supplies and space to do that art and time to do that art was going to take precedence over maybe other group activities or sports or other types of equipment. So that family figured out their purpose and mission, and all the decision making went through that lens. The place where I was exposed to this way of thinking actually came from this book right here. It's Tish Oxon Writer's book, Organized Simplicity. I thought it was going to be about how to get rid of stuff, declutter and clean and have a simple lifestyle, and it is, but it was really about starting out with the main thing, and that is figuring out what's important to you as a family. There's also a website called The Art of Simple, which I'll show you a little bit of footage from here, and this is a collection of different blog posts and organizational tools and inspiration from Tish and a team of people that are really about focusing on what's important. So you can find these steps in the book or on the website, and I'll also post the link in the description below. But let's walk through those steps. But before I do, I just wanted to find out, have you already written a family mission statement? If so, could you comment below and let me know a little bit what that process was like for you? I'd love to hear. So let's break down the steps. Step number 1, answer the questions. Now these are 20 questions that range from what are strengths and weaknesses to what are things that we enjoy doing, and it's really going to take you some time to dig through those and think about them thoughtfully. If you're doing this with a partner, then I suggest that you book a time that you'll be uninterrupted for about 2 to 6 hours, and likewise if you are working on this yourself, you'll want that uninterrupted time as well, because you really do need to dedicate some time thinking about what is the focus. Let's be really intentional about this. And those questions are also located in the book or on that blog post, which I will again link below. Step number 2, what are the themes? So take a look at those answers and see what kind of common things, characteristics, themes come up from your answers. Where can you find groupings and collections of information that point toward a characteristic or a principle or a value? And that's going to be really important for setting up what it is that you're going to be focusing on. After you've done that, you can group them however you like. It's up to you. I'm not your mom. Step number 3, where's the tension? So the whole reason that we're doing this exercise is because usually we're pulled in more than one direction. So let's look at where the answers maybe between you and your partner don't match up. Or maybe you find that if you're working on this yourself, that there are answers that seem to be in competition. And most likely you've experienced that competition internally and maybe even externally as you're trying to accomplish all the things. So this is a great time to highlight those and to be aware of them and decide, what are you going to do about that tension? And can you bring the themes into relationship with those things that are competing to figure out what really is most important? Step number 4, take a long-term view. So somewhere in that list of 20 questions, it asks you about what your goals are. And maybe your goal is, I'd like to get my child to stop talking with food in her mouth at the table. Well, eventually that's not going to be something that you're concerned about. So maybe the long-term goal is that we all would practice proper manners with each other, or that we would value each other's ability to have a meal without seeing food or whatever that is, but we can look at it as a long-term goal versus a short-term goal. And that will give longevity to your statement instead of making it just about short-term goals that then need to change over time. Okay, this is where we start to put everything together and do step number 5, drafting your statement. So Tish does give it an outline skeleton in the book and on the blog, and it reads like this. We, the family, believe that our purpose as a family is to, and then you can put a general mission statement in. We will accomplish this by valuing principle and principle as our main guiding principles, and making our home a place of adjective, adjective, and adjective, prioritizing value or action above lesser values, interacting with each other in a spirit of adjective. So if you're like freaking out because this means that you need to go back and figure out what all those English parts of speech are, don't overthink this. You've actually already have the answers in your questions that you have answered. So you're going to be fine just looking at the themes and looking at what are the things that you see that are part of the characteristics and values and principles that you've already uncovered for yourself. For our family, I actually went back and looked at the process for us, and I realized that it was August 29th, 2013, that I had gone to a lunch by myself and was reading the Organized Simplicity book because we needed to declutter. The girls had been home for about 2 years. Things have been a little chaotic, as you know. Anytime you're dealing with kids with complex developmental trauma and learning how to develop a healing home, there are lots of steps to it. So we were still figuring all that out and realized that we wanted to be able to focus on what was important, not just react in our decisions. So as I was reading the book, I realized this is a great process for us to go through. I took pictures and sent it to my husband and said, can we please have this meeting tonight? And boy howdy, we sure sat down and went through all the questions and banged out a document and a family statement, which I will share with you at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. But it was a process of a day. We've come back to that and looked at it over time, and it continues to be what the heart of our family is, what the mission of our family is. And so it was a great opportunity for us to then look at future purchasing decisions, future decisions about how we were going to spend our time in the community and who we were going to be to the people around us based on that particular mission statement. So this next part can be fun. It might even feel a little intimidating, but step number 6 is to mark your moment. So what that means is whether you want to display your mission statement, whether you want to post it somewhere, where you want to just store it digitally and continue to refer to it, but take a moment and figure out as a family, where is it most helpful? Would it be best to display it in the home so that when you have family meetings, you can continue to refer to it? Is it something that is better digital that you can share with each other when questions come up, or you can revisit and edit? It's up to you, and be as creative as you want during this time. It's about your family mission statement, not anyone else's. So this is yours. So mark your moment. Okay, so before I share with you what the Clark family mission statement is, and yes, we're the Clark family, even though my last name is Dupuy. That's a whole other YouTube. But before I share that with you, I just want to remind you that you can find the link to the post, the original post, in the description below. I'd also love to hear from you. What has inspired you? Are you gonna do this? If you are, if you decided that this is something that you want to do, I would love it if you would comment below with the word yes, and then the date of when you're going to set the meeting to answer these questions. I cannot wait to hear back from you. You can feel free to tag me in Instagram if you decide to display it. I would love to see that. It would just bring joy to my heart to know that there are people who have found a focus for their family and a way to make decisions that is really life-giving for them. So let me read to you the statement that we wrote. We, the Clark family, believe that our purpose as a family is to build a strong faith-based home that is inviting, nurturing, and healing. We will accomplish this by valuing both actively loving one another and respecting others and ourselves as main guiding principles, making our home a place of laughter, warmth, and authenticity, prioritizing stewardship, community, and creativity above lesser values, and interacting with each other with the spirit of grace. So if you know us, I hope that that's what's been conveyed when you are at our home and when you experience us as a family. It's been a great opportunity for us to take this time to look at our statement and figure out, is this really reflecting who we are? And boy, we sure hope it is. So Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for visiting Keeping Your Heart. I can't wait to see what you all come up with. There's some videos here. You can tag me in Instagram below and check out my website down there as well. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you again. If you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to keep your heart. Bye.